I would like to say hi, I am Mehdi Memarian, the founder of Maniz. I am from Bojnurs and in 1380 I was one of the top ranking participants of the college entrance exams. And at that time I was what you can consider from the lower ranks of society in terms of financial. And when I came to Tehran at those time, the whole idea of social justice was kind of prominent. And I saw less privileged classmates of mine who were denied a couple of opportunities and a lot of opportunities. And I myself took it upon myself to go to welfare organizations or orphanages to help kids who were near concours and near college entrance exams, to help them get accepted into good universities with good majors. And even to this day, I have a lot of friends who I helped reach good majors. I myself was a proficient person in doing the college entrance exams, so I helped the best kids who had the most opportunity to for social mobility. I helped them to reach better scores than they would have without me. And it was at that time that I actually met my wife Nasim, who actually had an opposite approach of me. She would find the worst of the worst and the people who had the least potential to have social mobility, and she would help those. And she would justify this by saying that yes, if you're a social worker, if you're an agent of justice, as you put it, you should help those who society has left behind and the ones that it has forsaken. Well, my reasoning and my motives were efficiency, and hers were justice in its purest form. In the midst of all that, we got married. We were still trying to find out what to do in those times in Iran at those times, and I myself was studying at Sharif, and I quit there. Decided to study entrepreneurship, and we'll see what you can do in Iran at that time. And we soon come to find that if these families don't reach a stable livelihood and have better care in terms of the parents, the potential for social mobility and uh, pr- giving prosperity to these children is quite obscure. However hard I would teach them and however caring Nassim would be in her for teaching. Those most forsaken by society and least privileged, uh, without a stable family, uh, there was no hope for progress. So we reached out to the mothers of these children, and we also realized the general approach was more aligned with rage control or positive reinforcement, and these things who have been designed and that have been designed for depressed youth of Europe, and they just copy and paste them into Iran and expect them to work. But what we said was that we need to stabilize their livelihood, and it is something that cannot be achieved through teaching skills and stuff like that. So we saw that we needed a platform for those forsaken by society and are never accepted anywhere in society. We would have a platform for them to get in and offer opportunity. We had a slogan for opportunities for the impoverished, not a voice for the voiceless. So I wasn't really, my priority wasn't the middle class. It wasn't power. It wasn't structure. It was people who we knew their names, we knew their history, and we knew them in person from personal experience. And we wanted to get them back to life. People who have been put aside by the systems in place in society. We wanted to have a platform for them to get back to it, get back to life itself. Like the speaker before me, we relied on cooperation. Me and my wife, we were studying theory of entrepreneurship, social entrepreneurship, and but we wanted to stay and operate under our civilization, our cultural values, and see what we can create and what we can build. Very soon we reach the values, our traditional values of Iran, and founded a company called Maniz. And I myself was a hiker, and the overusage of plastic was really annoying us. So, and the solution at the time was these cloth bags, these tote bags that we've had, and we said, yeah, what a good thing it is, what a good opportunity for the impoverished population to have a way to stabilize their livelihood with something that is easy to produce and can have or net them a stable income. And at the same time, it would somewhat address the national crisis that we were facing. It was probably 1390, and following the doctorate degree that I was following, we founded Pawnees as an academic project, an action research project. Me and Nassim's both doctoral dissertation were about social action research, and our main question was how can we do meaningful social work in Iran? We soon reached the conclusion that it is only in Iran where we can think of something like this. A land rich in problems, quality, and civilization. European countries don't have as many problems as we do, and other less impoverished, less prosperous countries like Uganda don't have as many institutes and as much civilization as we do. So we believe that there are solutions to be reached, and we can do something. And we were a few at the beginning. We would take the cloth bags to tote bags to uh, bread shops and everywhere, bakeries. Unfortunately, the culture wasn't really behind it at the time, and still isn't. And we really can't uh, expect them too much. Expect too much from people who are living under sanctions and have problems in their livelihood. So we did something we call societal innovation. Instead of selling it to people B2C, we would operate under B2B. That way, we would sell it to other companies, and they would use these tote bags as a branding tool for their own market and for their own customers. And that way, it would reach those people who are less privileged, and that way, we would have a stabilized production line and also a stable system of strengthening uh, less prosperous people. And during these 15 years, from a two-man mission, it has become a 150-person company. And our principal uh, hiring people, we would hire divorced, and by divorced I mean people with divorce employment conditions. We are going opposite, the opposite way the market is going. Instead of choosing the best people, we search for people who are living under the worst conditions and have the worst employment conditions. And we have grown a lot in our companies, contrary to our own expectations and also desires. We wanted this to be more of a action research institute, and through our cooperation with other companies and with people in the greater public, it made ponies develop, and we're also one of the biggest exporter of tote bags in the world. We are active in exporting to countries and Gulf countries. For even for this exhibition, we've done a lot of tote bags with other companies. Mm, we've always looked at the theoretical aspect of this. We always try to tie our actions to the question, how can we be entrepreneurs and social entrepreneurs in Iran? We've had lots of cooperations with lots of companies. Uh, we've had companies who uh, provided capitals for us to build infrastructure and also production lines. Let me say one of the experiences that I've had. It was during one night that I was very tired, and we've been having problems with the production line, and we were thinking about quitting on Ponies itself. Basically said that we've developed Ponies enough, and it was a complete experience, so we wanted to give up on it. But on that place, I got introduced to a person called Arif Salek. He just gave me a short introduction, and then Arif turned around and told me it's a great privilege provided to you by God to be able to do this. And I was thinking of telling myself, I'm telling him like I'm thinking of quitting, and now you're telling me this. So yeah, it's a great deal of cooperation went into Pani's either motivation, just like Arif Salek, or other tangible financial contribution. And all this happened without an involvement of the government because there was no option or there was no possibility of real good contribution from the government in all this. I couldn't really accept on the operations we've had. We couldn't really expect any monetary gain for them to be for them to take part, and we opted to save all the profits. And doing that, saving all the profits, actually made us more attractive for companies for cooperation, and more development came by that. And that made us more competitive in the market. Naturally, if someone has a product that sells for $10, they will sell it in a natural order like $15, depending on the technology and all that. And but we would our cost would be $10, and we would sell it for $10, so that made us more competitive in the market. So because of that, we could give better salaries and wages, and we could have less privileged individuals, and the forsaken individuals be observed in our companies, to be employed and better. So that made Maniz the cornerstones of social entrepreneurship in Iran. Even though our employment policies are completely against the norm of the market, most of my co-workers are graduates from top-ranking universities, and that's what makes us able to rectify the systematical oppression that these people have been going through. That's what makes us able to shoulder these responsibilities. And we also see one of our greatest missions in this company is, as a social business, social entrepreneurship business. One of our greatest missions is also thinking about fundamental change. At the same time, we're helping impoverished women and women in risk of danger. At the same time, we're helping change perspectives on these matters, changing perspectives in law, and we've had a lot of effect on business as a business as well. We've had effect on prohibiting laws on selling plastic bags in businesses. We've put that thought process in priority, and in our entrepreneurship or social entrepreneurship perspectives, we've pushed the idea that uh, this model of entrepreneurship or social entrepreneurship, this model of manufacturing goods, social manufacturing goods, is a way to reach justice. It's a voluntarily way of reaching justice. It is a way to reach justice, but it is not a surefire way. But these failures themselves are not fruitless. We can expect to learn from these failures, and through our accomplishments, we would reach prosperity. And that would be all. Thank you for listening.